In this section, we're actually going to install Longhorn on our lab cluster. But before we do that, we need to make sure that we have met all of the dependencies of Longhorn. Most importantly, the operating system or node dependencies. Um, there, of course, is a very helpful script that we have called the environmental check script, which I will go ahead and run now. Uh, what this is going to do is this is actually going to spit up pods that will run on every node in the cluster, and it goes through and checks and makes sure the curl and the iSCSI package and NFS client and a few other settings are set up correctly to make sure that everything from an OS perspective and node perspective is ready to go. Um, if you run into any errors besides warnings, you do need to resolve that before moving forward. Luckily, most of the standard Linux distros, Ubuntu, SUSE, CentOS, Red Hat, you name that, have the iSCSI and NFS client installed by default. If not, you do need to install them, and I would direct you to the Longhorn documentation for some example commands. Uh, be aware, though, if you are running on a hosted cluster like in a GKE or an EKS cluster that has non-standard operating systems that they run their nodes on. For example, if you're running on GKE, by default, they're going to give you a containerd based operating system, which is a very stripped down operating system that doesn't even have a package manager on the OS, so you can't install packages on it. So you will need to work with the cloud provider to change out that image to a more standardized image. Google, Amazon, Azure, they all have the ability to swap those images out with a SUSE, Ubuntu, CentOS, Red Hat, some other Linux distro that you could then have a little bit more control over. Of course, in this environment, we've passed with fine colors. You can ignore the kernel. That's totally fine. The very first step we want to do is we are going to be using Helm to actually install Longhorn. So we need to tell the Helm package manager where to go get Longhorn from. So we're going to first run this command, which basically just sets up the repository. It tells it, hey, there is this chart repo that we have out there. We're going to call it Longhorn. We're then going to do a Helm update. Technically, if this was the first time that you've added this repo, you don't need to do this. It simply just updates any cached copies. It's a very good habit to get into, just running it every time you're getting ready to do an install. Um, we're then going to run the following command. And before I run this, let's break this command down a little bit. We're telling Helm, the package manager for Kubernetes, that we're going to install this package. We're going to install this app, let's call it Longhorn. We're pointing it to the chart or repo Longhorn, and then the chart Longhorn. There's a couple different names in here, but effectively we're telling it we're going to install Longhorn, and we're putting it in the namespace Longhorn-system. Now this is super important to understand and remember. Though you can customize that namespace in this Helm command, you cannot change that namespace. If you change that to a different namespace, if you change it to storage or something else besides Longhorn-system, the Helm command will succeed, but Longhorn will never come online. Longhorn is designed to be in that namespace. No ifs, no buts about it. That's just how it's designed. Of course, the next flag is create namespace. This is really just a useful command, so I don't have to create the namespace. I'm just going to let Helm create it for me, with the final flag being the version. Now, technically, you can ignore that, and Helm will just grab whatever the latest version is out in the chart. We, of course, that's not recommended in real production environments because you could accidentally be installing a brand new version and then the next day a new version is released, and now you're installing another version that suddenly doesn't match. So it's always recommended to hard code to whatever version is currently recommended. You could, of course, at the time of recording this, 1.5.3 is the current recommended and latest version. I would refer you to the Longhorn documentation to see whatever the most up-to-date version is. So we're going to go ahead and run this. This command should only take about 30 to 60 seconds to actually complete. As you notice here, nothing really came out of it. This is a pretty generic response. Um, we are then going to run the command get pods in that namespace to actually see the namespace, the Longhorn application is actually starting up at this point. Um, as you see here, we basically start up. Helm actually really just deploys these Longhorn managers. Longhorn managers then take over and deploy all the other components of Longhorn at that point. Um, Now, it is super important to remember, especially if you're running this in like a home lab or a laptop or something kind of local. Um, you're basically pulling a bunch of different images into your cluster. And of course, you're pulling it 3 times. You know, you get to pull the image for every single node. So it is super normal and super common that this might take 5 to 10 minutes to pull down all those images. And what you'll see is just slowly pods go from incubating status to init status and just will eventually take care of itself. Now I added the -w command, and basically that just watches as things change in the get pods output. And basically what you're waiting for is for all these pods will eventually get into the running status. Now I'm going to make you sit here and wait 10 minutes while that happens. But be also aware that larger clusters, you do need, it will take longer. Of course, if you had a 10 node cluster or 100 node cluster, it might take 10, 15, 20 minutes for all of the pods to get into a running state. But at the end of this, once all of our pods are in a running state, Longhorn's up and ready to take traffic in your cluster. And that concludes this part of the demo. Thank you.